And just when it looked like things were coming together, they went and put the final nail in the coffin they've been preparing for quite some time. The eagerly awaited launch of the day before has been delayed once more, and the game's future is uncertain.
Come again?
The new release date is set for November 10th, 2023. In a recent tweet by the developers, it was explained that Steam was forced to take down the day before from the platform at the request of the rightful owner of the trademark. It turns out, the day before brand is not associated with Fntastic, but with a private individual. This came as a shock to everyone following the game's development. We wanted to check if this is true and decided to investigate the United States Patent and Trademark Office database and found that the person in question has a long history of applying and registering for different patents, most of which have been approved by the US government. In addition to these patents, there is also an entry for the day before trademark from May 21st, 2021, filed just 4 months after the game's initial announcement. It was later finalized and approved on November 1st, 2022. At long last, the developers have released some information that is not an outright lie. But here comes the weird part. Fntastic applied for the trademark 8 months after the said individual and currently holds the status of applicant, while this person from South Korea is the only rightful and registered owner of the day before trademark. When we first heard about this, we needed some time to process the information. The oversight of this scale is truly staggering, considering that the trademark should have been checked early on in the process, which Fntastic clearly did not do. This supports the developer's unprofessional behavior that has been evident since the announcement. But for the sake of argument, let's assume Fntastic did check the trademark availability and found it was taken. All they had to do was register under a different name, which is a common practice in the industry, as it has happened many times before. For example, Avatar: The Last Airbender was forced to change its name due to James Cameron's Avatar, or Biohazard, which was renamed to Resident Evil outside of Japan. Fun fact, it is still called Biohazard there. And let's not forget EA's Anthem, which was initially called Beyond and changed its name just a few days before the E3 2017 reveal. So why do these questions surrounding legal naming rights matter now? Well, because the game's removal from Steam happened just a few days before new gameplay was set to be shown, and only 5 weeks before the actual release. Was it nothing but a coincidence? We don't think so. This wasn't just any gameplay that was about to be shown. We're talking about the actual raw gameplay, the one that was meant to silence even the biggest skeptics about the game. It was supposed to provide an in-depth look at the game's setting, mechanics, and systems. But most importantly, it should have proven that the product is real and ready to be shipped. But this didn't happen.
You sit on a throne of lies.
The game was promptly removed from Steam as if it never existed. To make matters worse, Fntastic initially claimed that the removal of the game was a known bug caused by Steam's maintenance automation that will be resolved shortly. And the next day, they issued a completely new statement in which they explained the current situation that had nothing to do with Steam. Many people on Twitter expressed suspicions that this Korean individual is connected to Fntastic in some way, shape, or form, and is some kind of a backup or a safety switch that developers can flip to back away from the project if things go south. At the moment, this cannot be confirmed or denied, but after everything we've seen so far, can we rule out that possibility?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Honestly, this whole situation looks like one big bad joke, the kind that leaves a bitter taste in your mouth. Even the day before's Discord mods have admitted that they have not yet witnessed actual gameplay, leading some to question the game's existence. If the day before was nothing but a prank all along, it could have been conceived only in the mind of the funny and brilliant Andy Kaufman, who is sadly no longer with us, so it can't be that.
What do you do? Whatever you want.
I would like to sing and dance and tell jokes.
Many unanswered questions are still lingering in the air, like why did the person contact them this late? And why did they wait until the game was about to be released before taking action? And what does this mean for the future of the day before? We can answer the last question to an extent. As of now, the future of the game is uncertain, and it remains to be seen if Fntastic will be able to resolve this issue and bring the day before back to Steam. All we can do is wait and see, but one thing is for sure, the development of this game has been marred by legal issues and unprofessional behavior, leaving many fans disappointed and questioning the credibility of the developer. And things get even more interesting from here. In an interview with IGN, Fntastic revealed that they were planning a delay even before a trademark dispute. They planned to move the game's release and wanted to announce it in a 10-minute gameplay video. You know, the mysterious video we mentioned earlier. In the same interview, they addressed the complaints that the game is not in production at all by promising that despite the existing confusion, it will eventually be released.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Okay, let's be totally blunt here. It's clear that the name change and delay can't be justified by taking 8 months, as we've seen with other games like EA's Anthem. The gameplay video could still be released with a placeholder title and a new release date, but that seems unlikely right now. It's hard to say what Fntastic's true intentions are in this situation. If the game was never meant to be released, and this was all a scheme, why did they tease and hype the gaming community, especially since there was no financial gain involved, or at least none that we know of? They were fully funded by Mytona, one of the largest mobile publishers in the world, and it's hard to believe they would resort to such drastic measures solely for the purpose of advertising their Zoom-like application. And honestly, from a pure gaming perspective, why would we care about any of their other products? The truth is, either The Day Before was truly in development, and this was one of the worst managed games in history, or the developers have given in to public pressure and decided to cancel the game that never existed beyond tech demos and curated gameplay videos. In most cases, the simplest explanation is usually the correct one, so you be the judge. As there were no pre-orders and no money is taken from the hands of players, Fntastic has not committed any fraudulent or illegal activity, but they will have to have a difficult conversation with the publisher and explain every decision that led to this point. Fans around the world, however, got the short end of the stick on this one. We have been eagerly awaiting the game for months, if not years, and many have invested a lot of time and energy following its development, hoping to play it one day. And now, trying to come to terms with this unfortunate news, fans feel deceived and betrayed because all imagined hours of gameplay and thrilling adventures of playing with their friends are now gone. With these recent events, Fntastic joins the blue box as studios with a lackluster development history, announcing games that will never see the light of day. Even if The Day Before miraculously resurfaces on Steam later this year, the damage done is irreparable. The cause of the failure can only be attributed to the shortcomings of the management team. That is, if there is one at all.
Maybe one day we'll find out.
Even though it may not initially appear to have much of an impact, this kind of behavior has significant ramifications for the gaming sector as a whole. We are all struggling through these hard times together, and it affects both sides, the companies trying to sell their product and the buyers willing to give up on their hard-earned income to buy a non-essential item at ever-increasing prices. Hopefully, we can all learn something from this situation and sail together to a better future, a bit wiser and more united than before. At the very least, we should all raise the bar of personal skepticism even higher and be more mindful of all unsupported claims that are constantly being hurled at us. Here's a quick question. Knowing all of this, would you add The Day Before to your wishlist if it becomes available on Steam again, or would you react differently this time? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more gaming news. And as always, until next time, have a great day and a ton of fun.